Time now for Media Watch with Emma James. Emma, staying on this topic of harassment, you've been casting an eye over a social experiment played out on Instagram.
Yes, absolutely. And this is all about sexism, sexual harassment, just in everyday life. It's an experiment that's been carried out by a 20-year-old woman, Noah Jansma, from Amsterdam in the Netherlands. Her Instagram account is called Dear Catcallers, catcalling being when somebody yells something out at you in the street. Now, she only has been doing this for 1 month. She said she was only going to do it for that period of time, so she's finished now. 23 photographs have been published, which shows it's almost one a day. 166,000 people are following her, which gives you an idea of the level of interest there is in calling out this kind of everyday sexism, and a lot of it does amount to considerably more than just sexism. So yes, 23 photographs have been published. She didn't take them, however, at night, so there were other incidents where she didn't take photographs because, of course, she was concerned for her own safety. To give you an idea of the kind of things that she's posted and things that were said, she always puts the comments that the person made. Hey, sexy chiquita, where are you going alone? A very sinister turn of phrase. Now, he may not have meant it to sound so sinister, but if you are a woman alone, that does sound pretty dodgy, to say the least. And other examples of these, you want to kiss. And notice
some of these men are actually posing for the photographs.
Oh, absolutely. They had no idea what this project was about. She basically just walked up to them and asked them if she could take a selfie with them after they'd made these comments. Now, you can see she looks very unimpressed about the whole thing, but this gentleman here has his arm draped around her, his hand looking like it's heading somewhere it really shouldn't be, and lots of people really quite stunned at the kind of comments that were made. It does, however, start quite a debate on this Instagram account about what constitutes flirtation and what constitutes harassment, because this group of gentlemen, one of them yelled out, "Can he have your number?" Now, in itself, it's not that bad. But in that context where it's a woman alone, a group of 3 men, and they're yelling it in the street, it is very different. But we look at some of the comments here, and this person says, "It's so sad that today a person can't attempt to court another. What next? He approached me offering to buy me a drink, that pig." Now, that is clearly somebody who really doesn't get what it is like to be a woman and to be on the receiving end of these kind of remarks. Now, she says that she was quite fearful for her safety carrying out this experiment. But she said most of the time the men had their thumbs aloft and really were quite happy about the whole thing because they honestly thought that she felt they were complimenting her. And it goes to show really just the difference between how men and women see these kind of events. Some of it's been reported worldwide, this, and it happened mostly on the streets of Amsterdam. She's from the Netherlands. Bustle's one of those reporting on it, saying that the images are chilling. Frankly, some of the comments are far more sinister, many that I can't show you that really do amount to threats. But this one I just thought shows how somebody really has no concept of what's going on here. This must work on some girls or they wouldn't do it. How about some focus on the girls enabling this behaviour? So it really is an interesting take on what is everyday sexism and harassment on the street.
And I'm sure that won't be the last we hear of it. Emma, you've also been looking at reactions to this year's Nobel Peace Prize awarded to an anti-nuclear campaign, ICAN.
Yes, absolutely. International Campaign to Abolish Nuclear Weapons, to give it its full name. Its main aim is to eliminate the 15,000 nuclear weapons that exist in the world. And the executive director of ICAN has been very forthright in criticising Donald Trump. In their statement accepting the award and giving thanks to everyone who's helped them along the way, there was no mention of the US president. But Beatrice Fien, who's pictured here, did say that the election of President Donald Trump has made a lot of people feel very uncomfortable with the fact that he alone can authorise the use of nuclear weapons. She did add, though, that there are no right hands for nuclear weapons. What's interesting is that the Nobel Prize Committee has tried to make out that it's not being overly political in this awarding the prize, saying we are not kicking anybody's leg. But certainly ICANN, not as subtle as that. There's no kicking under the table going on here. They do call out Donald Trump on a number of occasions. It is well worth taking a look at the Twitter feed of Beatrice Fien. She is quite outspoken. A few jokes too. 9 nuclear-armed states walked into a bar because it was set too low. And just a couple of days ago, she tweeted this: Donald Trump is a moron, prompting somebody to ask if Rex Tillerson had hacked her account. But she is certainly not one to hold back if she wants to actually hold people to account for what they are doing.
So indeed a political message from the Nobel Peace Prize Committee. Emma James, thank you for Media Watch.